What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Maj Toure Show. It is March the 23rd of the year 2026. So we say Trump claims peace talks, but Iran does this instead. I want everybody to welcome to the show. You know the routine. Come in, let me know where you're from. Share the space all over the place, depending on where you're watching from. We're going to get directly into it. As you see on the screen right here, we got President Donald Trump here, saying earlier this morning, I'm pleased to report the United States of America and the country of Iran have had, over the last 2 days, very good and productive conversations regarding the complete and total resolution of our hostilities in the Middle East. Based on the tenor and tone of these in-depth, detailed, and constructive conversations, which will continue throughout the week, I have instructed the Department of War to postpone any and all military strikes against Iranian power plants and energy infrastructure for a 5-day period, subject to the success of the ongoing meetings and discussions. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald Trump. Now, this happened this morning. And when it happened this morning, a part of me was like, all right, that's cool. But then, like most adults, I have a memory that's beyond 10 seconds ago. And I thought about, man, this is about the second or third time the United States and the Israeli government have feigned one thing and then bombed a situation completely on the other side. So I was like, that may not be the best. Maybe they won't believe that. That was my thought. And then I thought for a second, I don't know, man. Dude seems to kind of like be saying one thing and doing another. Is he delusional? Is he going to Sleepy Joe route? Is he having a little early dementia? And then I remembered the ultimate answer, which is war is deception, solutionaries, and we are 1,000% at war with the country of Iran. Guys, I want to hear from you all in the comment section. Real briefly, guys, also, the work that we do, the actual work that we've done for years, the Second Amendment work, I want everybody to make sure you share the space all over the place, as well as donate towards the work at givesendgo.com/solutionary. Having voluntary donations for people to strengthen themselves as far as the Second Amendment goes, and making sure that the general public has the information to know how to be safe and responsible firearms owners has been our work. We're this close to our actual goal, and we need everybody's support on hand. So if you can, guys, givesendgo.com/solutionary. You watch this on YouTube, it's scrolling right across the bottom. But I want to hear from everybody, and I want to talk about this. I don't think that anybody really fell for it. I don't think that the Iranian officials fell for it. They didn't. Okay? I think that the opposite actually happened. All right? What happened was Trump thought he got somebody, and then everybody said absolutely not. Everybody sat back and thought, we've heard this before. I want to pull this up for y'all real quick so y'all can check it out, because I want to give a thorough explanation of what the timeline and sequence of events actually happened and how that actually went. So we'll pull this up in the notes real quick, guys. Let's see. So I can give you guys an actual timeline here. Again, Truth Social. This when this post happens, about 7 a.m. Eastern time, American time, right? Had a very productive conversation over the last 2 days. Complete and total solution of our hostilities in the Middle East. Detailed and we're going to talk all week. This is because it's Monday, guys. And how do I know it's Monday? It's because I haven't had any food in 2 days. I stopped eating my last meal Saturday. I'm on a 7-day fast. No solids. 7 days straight. I got work to do. I got to get clear. Saturday, I had a delicious meal. I overdid it. I had cake. I had steak. I had wine. It was the ultimate cheat meal. So my memory is super clear right now. We are not losing any type of focus. I'm counting down to the next time I can have some food. And I had water. I've got coffee. If you guys following the YouTube channel, it's day 2 of that. And I remember the day that I stopped eating. I can have a serious timeline from the last time I had a decent meal. We won't be confused about that. So he said this. And he said, we're going to be talking for the next 5 days. But what is Monday? The markets opened up on Monday. So not only was there what looks like some insider information, because somebody a half 5 minutes before he made this post to Truth Social, somebody made some big bets on the market. So what he told reporters was he's in talks and they involved the top Iranian leader, not the Khomeini, right? When he was asked about this by the media, he said, "Oh, I don't want to tell him who it is because I don't want him to get killed." That's what he said. Which makes me go back. I can't remember who it was, but somebody said, "This ain't the street. This ain't like the street," because I posted up a video about The Wire. This ain't just like the street, and I beg to differ. And I actually challenged that. Anybody saying, "Yeah, I don't want to say who told me because he might get smoked," that sounds like street shit to me. But nonetheless, he's saying this involved the top Iranian leader. It wasn't the Khomeini. The announcement came hours before the 48 ultimatum issued Saturday, threatening to obliterate all of their power plants if Iran didn't fully reopen the Strait of Hormuz. This whole situation has been 1,000% a shit show, in my opinion. 1,000%. Terry says, "Did you see the stock market?" Right? Yes. See, this is the part of the game that I want to tell y'all as you guys tap into the show. There is a thin line that's being walked here. That thin line that's being walked here is, how can we get this thing knocked off? How can we do it under the War Powers Resolution, even though the House and the Senate is Republican? Because if the market responds in too much of a negative way, the general public, his donors, as well as the constituents of the House and the Senate, you know what I mean? Those people will start putting pressure back, and he goes, "Okay, we got to get out of here." But if you do a bunch of carnage while the markets are closed over the weekend, you put this statement out that Iran is saying, "Absolutely not. This wasn't us. We not in conversation with you. We have had no sit downs and no talks." Trump throws it out there as, "Oh, I can't really tell y'all who I was talking about because I don't want him to get killed." War is deception, ladies and gentlemen. This is the basics. So everybody that's getting on, "Oh man, Trump said one thing and he did something else." Yeah, because he's arguably the most watched and looked person across Truth Social. If you believe anything that the president is saying or doing based on social media after it has not been confirmed by multiple sources, if you think that your point of reference that you should be following, well, the enemy is watching his social media. If you think this dude is going to say anything that's legitimate on social media, I got a bridge in Philly to sell you. Matter of fact, cash at me $1 million right now, and I'm gonna throw in a little bell, a little Liberty Bell in for a discount. Got a little crack in it. If you believe anything that's being said across this, I'm sorry, guys. The basics of war is deception. It's deception. Now, am I kind of like, yeah, he needs to tell us the exact truth publicly every single time the way that he's doing? No, I don't believe it. I believe we are at war. I believe the concept of saying we was at war and saying one thing and doing another, that's standard operational procedure for a lot of politicians, especially in wartime. Okay? But on top of that, what did Iran say? Iran's response immediately about these publicly talks, they off top denied them. Foreign ministry spokesman said there are no negotiations with the United States. The parliament speaker, Mohammed Bagher Kalabayaf, said it's fake news. And that was meant to be sarcastic. He said it's fake news, designed to manipulate oil markets and distract from the war. We are at war, solutionaries. That's just what it is. And state and media officials reiterated the Strait of Hormuz is going to stay restricted, closed to nations involved in attacks on Iran, and the war continues until conditions like damage is paid and sanctions lifted are met. I want to be very clear about this. We have, in essence, paid in the last 3 weeks. Iran now is charging $2 million per tanker. Anybody want to get through this little corner right here? Y'all want to get through our corner We need that. If y'all want to get through our corner that we got going on right here, it is what it is. We need $2 million per boat. That's what we need. If you don't like it, it is what it is. You have, in essence, helped Iran. I'm going to look up exactly the numbers of what they've actually gotten over there since this situation has been popping off. I'm going to look it up real quick. But they've gotten a lot of money. I'm talking about like to the tune of like, y'all helped them. Y'all basically gave them a sanctions relief. That's what y'all really did. Y'all gave them sanctions relief. That's what you really, really, really did over there. Okay, now we got some breaking news here as well, guys. Let me look at this real quick. Breaking: Iran's energy minister just confirmed the damage. Now count what is broken. Okay, so the South Pars gas field is struck. Let's switch to this one real quick, guys. The South Pars gas field is struck. A Saluya processing complex hit. Gas storage tanks destroyed. And this is breaking. This is an explosion that just happened not long ago. Isfahan pressure reduction station destroyed. A major pipeline near Karma Shahar severed. Refineries halted. Power plants damaged. Transmission networks collapsed across the provinces. Dozens of water treatment and transmission facilities destroyed. Desalinization systems offline. Minister Abbas Alibada described the damage as extensive. The Iranian Red Crescent says 80,000 civilian building units have been damaged. The electricity grid is fractured, and the 5-day power plant pause is the only thing preventing the rest of it from being hit. South Pars is not an Iranian gas field. It is one half of the single largest natural gas reservoir on Earth, shared with Qatar's North Field across the maritime border. Combined, they hold roughly 8% of the world's total proved gas reserves. Qatar already declared force majeure on its side after Iranian drones struck Ras Laffan on day 3. 17% of global LNG capacity went offline for 3 to 5 years. Now the Iranian side of the same geological formation is being struck by the American and Israeli munitions. Now, real quick, guys, I want y'all to understand that also what happened here was Netanyahu. Matter of fact, Bookworm, if you can, send me a X link real quick via email, if you can, on what Netanyahu's statement was. After Trump released this statement this morning, Benjamin Netanyahu gets on television and says, nah, we're going to keep smoking. We're going to keep, even after Trump, whether you believe or don't believe this statement here by Donald Trump on Truth Social, whether you believe that or not, whole different conversation. Not long after that, Benjamin Netanyahu gets on camera and says, nah, we're going to keep bombing. To me, that's the perfect sign for the United States government to go, okay, cool, you got it then, champ. You got it. You got it, and y'all got it. I'm not interested in fighting you anymore. I'm fighting your battle no more. That would have been a perfect exit out. Because if not, we're still seeing things like this that are damaging. Let me read a little bit more. The other by the countries whose drones targeted the gas that heated European homes, powered Asian factories, produced the fertilizer that feeds South Asia, and supplied the helium that TSMC requires to fabricate every advanced semiconductor on Earth, comes from a single formation now being bombed from both directions. Iran has now publicly confirmed what it has lost. The electricity ledger has been read, hospitals absorbed, schools absorbed, emergency centers absorbed, electricity's on the line. The energy minister's statement turns the ledger from a warning into a legal and moral foundation for reciprocity. What that means is, you guys have impacted, which is supposed to be, people will give me some pushback on Section 52 of the national law around wartime treaties and things like that, and international policy. Some of y'all gonna give me some pushback on Section 52. If you don't know what that is, go. You got Grok, you got the power of the internet. I see you scrolling all day looking at the baddies. Find something informative about the internet too. Okay? But what Iran is saying here is this is the damage that you guys have started. After we said, if you bomb these things right here, we're going to go after the desalinization plants of the Middle East. So they're telling y'all, okay, cool. Y'all did this to us. This is in between. This is after the 7 a.m. thing, like, hey, we cool for the next 5 days. And this is the last little active action that goes before the 5-day thing. Iran has already said in response to Trump's perspective, Iran has already said, nah, we don't believe that. We've had no sit-downs with you. And in the process of not having any sit-downs with you, you're saying this to look good for the markets and try to get expansion to regroup in the middle of a war. They've already said it. The cat's out of the bag. The jig is up. So even if something for a while, this whole thing that Trump did, looking like he's just turning into a senile old man, whether it's true or not, doesn't matter. Nobody's falling for it. Then what has just recently happened? What has just recently happened? An explosion reported at Texas's largest oil refinery in Port Arthur. This has just happened. An explosion. Sleeper cell, whatever, doesn't matter. You win it, guys. You are in the thick of it. You are in the middle of it, solutionaries. This is what happens. This is very, very stupid, in my opinion. If you could get it off, then cool, but it don't look like it's getting off without casualties. Doesn't seem like we're getting it off. To me. In my opinion, this could have been handled, and again, take it with a grain of salt, solutionaries. Nobody has to listen to me. I'm not of the administration. I think there's a way where Trump has actually created space where he can throw other people on the bus, under the bus. I think he did it a little bit to Pete Hegseth today when he said, we had guys and they told us, Pete, I think you may have been one of the first ones to tell me, let's get in there. And I think he gave them a compliment, but it's an underhanded compliment. Guys, we are watching things like The Wire and the Game of Thrones and the 48 Laws of Power. We are watching these things play out on an international scale right in front of our face, whether you want to accept that or not. And when you're dealing in these type of war games, it's going to be casualties. Carrie had something that I thought was actually very, very interesting. I want to play this for everybody real quick. I like Carrie. She's very limited government. Government should stay out of our things. Let's play this real quick, and I want to hear you guys' perspective. Guys, make sure you smash the like button. I want everybody in the space to 1,000% be sharing it, as well as subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. YouTube.com/Maj2Ray. But let's play this real quick, what Carrie's talking about.
There are a lot of huge lies about the war in Iran. That the Iranian government posed an imminent threat to the United States, the chronic omission of the fact that the CIA played a direct role in the rise of the Iranian regime, that Trump isn't Israel's bitch, or that the US ruling establishment cares at all about innocent Iranians. But the biggest lie of all is that we are at war with Iran. We, as in hundreds of millions of American people, are not attacking Iran. We are not bombing Iran, killing civilians, or doing Israel's bidding. The soldiers in the US military and the ruling class masters barking commands at them are. You are quite literally not the military, and you are not the authoritarians who hallucinate that they have a right to commit violence in your name. You've simply been indoctrinated to believe that
we, the people, are the government.
We are the government.
We are the government.
We are the government.
We are the government.
according to this delusional logic, we have lied repeatedly to justify wars. We slaughtered children during the occupation of the Philippines. We poisoned Vietnamese people with chemical weapons. We bombed civilians in World War II. We imported Nazi scientists to work for the US government. We experimented with mind control. We infiltrated the media with propaganda, and we probably still do those things. And today, apparently, we have racked up $38 trillion of debt with reckless spending on war and
39 now, 39 trillion.
big government. We spy on ourselves, we cook up terror plots to foil, we promote and defend the use of toxic pesticides, we protect predators, and we prop up human rights abusing regimes. Except we didn't and don't do any of those things. People claiming to possess the right to wield violent authority didn't do. Believing otherwise is conditioned collectivist fiction. In reality, there are people in positions of power who claim extra special rights to compel their order followers, many of whom have good intentions but are also indoctrinated, to commit acts of violence on one hand. And on the other hand, there are the rest of us, most of whom would never assert that we as individuals have such a right. And yet through special rituals, incantations, uniforms, sacred scrolls, and a barrage of propaganda from our youngest years, we outsource our identity and agency to these people, believing they're extensions of ourselves who represent, serve, and protect us. Even though we don't have a right to commit violence, government agents who allegedly derive their authority and right to rule from we the people somehow do. In addition to the conflation of people with the governments that rule over them, nations are often conflated with governments. America did this, Iran did that, Israel did other things. False. Ruling authoritarians exploiting national identities and soldiers do. If you ever want to see solutions to the many problems governments create, a necessary start is to stop believing we are the government, disabusing yourself from the belief that these sociopaths have any legitimate right to rule over you, let alone are you. This delusion enables all the other lies they tell and atrocities they commit. But if you still believe you are the government, why don't you go fight?
You are supposed to be the government. You are supposed to have representation and limited government. This is why we have a Civics and Liberty 101 class. What you're supposed to be and how this thing is supposed to go and what you actually are currently. We are in an occupied government. And I don't just mean, because some people will go, just one particular group of the lobbyists are controlling government. No, it's not just one. Lobbying shouldn't be a thing. The lobbying should happen from the American people to the representatives that they send to DC to speak on their behalf. They're the only people that should be lobbying, in my view. In my view. So with that being the case, you are not the government in that regard because it's not representative and it's not operating the way that it was intended on many, 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 many different levels. Okay? And if that's the case, when it's we, 1 minute is we, then the other minute is I get to lie to you and not tell you the whole story. Then I get to say one thing and do another. Then it's, I can't tell it. That's classified. We can't tell you about all of the people that we're defending that are allegedly accused of some weird things with assault sexually on children. We can't talk about that. But somehow we, the government, they interchangeably do this thing to make it seem like, whatever. We are going to pay for this. Again, the massive explosion at the Valero oil refinery in Port Arthur, Texas, sends towering clouds of black smoke and intense flames shooting into the sky. This is one of America's largest oil refineries, 335,000 barrels a day. No injuries reported yet. We still don't know the cause. Yes, we do. It's either a false flag of some organization or whatever trying to get us to go further into this war situation, or it's the actual people that you just bombed over there and they already got sleeper cells. This is not complicated. We don't have to kill ourselves trying to figure out some answers to things that are very, very simple. Either it's real or it's fake. No pun intended. I said it's real. Either it's real. You can read between the lines. It's either it's real or it's not. But there's still going to be damages. There's already reports that this theory that the bombs that hit 4,000 kilometers away from what the Iranian government said their missiles had capacity to, there's already rumors that that has been false and it was shot from potentially Israeli submarines or some shit like that. Now we're talking about false flags. Now we're talking about this. Now we're talking about that for a war that I don't know if we actually have benefited from. Have we? In your opinion, have we benefited from this war so far? Have we? Doesn't look like we have, to me. Doesn't look like we have. You know who it does look like is getting money off this? The Khomeini. Over there getting that bread. Getting to that bag. $2 million per boat shipped through. That's what it looked like to me. It doesn't, I don't see, is this what winning feels like? At a certain point, we got to call it what it is. If you guys are willing to have a certain level of death and destruction, and when I mean destruction, hopefully there's been no death here. Hopefully. As it stands, they're saying that there's been no actual death as of right now. As of right now. But 335,000 barrels a day. One of America's largest oil refineries. Whether it's fake or if it's real, it starts to become like, what are we doing here? I want to hear a show of hands or some comments or something like that. How many people in here can genuinely say, you feel like we're winning? This has been very, very good of America's football. I'm not feeling the wins. I'm just not. I'm not feeling like we winning right now. I'm trying to pull up a couple of other things. Guys, hit the like button, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, givesendgo.com/solutionary. Support the work. Guys, even with Iran's denial of this, right? The market believed, I want to keep that on the screen for a little bit, and then I'll go back into Trump's Truth Social post. Even with Iran denying this, actually, let me go to the Truth Social post real quick, okay? Because again, this is 7 a.m. Even with Iran outright going, we not going back and forth with man. The market believed Trump version enough to react. The oil prices dropped hard and fast, 9 to 14% in one day. The world's oil price fell from 120 last week to 96 at the lowest point. And that means that the fear of the war shutting down more oil shipping, especially through the Strait of Hormuz, eased off a bit. So when the Iranian people say, nah, bro, we're not going back and forth with you. You're just saying that on the strength of trying to defend the markets because you got a global economy. Even though Iran straight up said that, the Dow was still up around 600 to 1,000 points at different times. And the broader market had its best day since the war started. As long as you can keep a global economy in the sense of the market, like somewhat happy, they do not care about you. They do not care about those people that worked at that refinery down in Texas. There was a person that said it. I can't remember exactly who it was, but he was on one of those, might have been CNBC. He was basically saying, look, the market's responding well. And somebody was like, well, the general public, they're still paying higher gas prices, egg prices, pretty much all of the things that Trump campaigned on lowering. They're still impacted negatively by that. And he was like, well, the market they don't care about your job. They don't care about your whatever. As long as the market is responding somewhat favorably, I can give them, if they believe me, cool. If the markets are responding well, cool. And the Iranian government says this. The funny part about this makes it look like I'm trying to advocate or argue in benefit of the Iranian government. And I'm not. There's just certain obvious things that's happening here that my job is to tell y'all what's actually going on. And in the process of recognizing what's actually going on here, you can just see it playing out. Right after you said at 7 a.m., yo, we're going to do this. Yo, we're going to fall back a bit. The Iranians say, one, we're not in talks. Two, that's not true. You're trying to appease the market. Then later on the day, you blow some shit up. And then they say, yeah, but we got the 5-day. That order was given a little bit further. But as long as the market is responding, like there's no whatever. Okay? Why this discrepancy here? Why is the discrepancy between these two? Obviously, war is deception. That's number one. Obviously, war is deception. Okay? War is deception. That's the first component of this. The other part is, if Trump gets to project this whole peace through strength shit, some 1980, which is a 1984, I don't know if you guys read the book, 1984. This is some obvious 1984 shit. Peace through strength, freedom through slavery type shit. And I'm not saying that you can't project strength. Those who want peace, prepare for war. Prepare for war. Be capable of defending yourself in war, not go start a war. Okay? So he gets to project this peace through strength shit that he was talking about since The Art of the Deal. If y'all didn't know, I read The Art of the Deal, which is Trump's first book. I read that shit when I was 14. That ultimatum and saying, yo, y'all better get right in 48 hours or we're going to blow your shit up. That ultimatum and then the pause by going, what's on the screen now? Hey, we cool. We having some good talks. It gets the ability to look like you told them what to do and they got on board. Even though they say, we ain't had no sit down with main man, we're not interested in sitting down with main man. 2 times before, the United States government and Israel act like they wanted peace talks, no different than when the bombing first started. Y'all had UK at the table, you had this at the table. Y'all said, we agreed to non-proliferation of nuclear weapons, and then y'all bombed us the next day. Iran says that. But it gives the breathing room, it calms the markets. The gas prices, again, did spike. Then you put something out like that, and then the market responds like, oh, there's no way he would say that if it's not true. Yes, he would. War is deception. And I want to send this through the lens of y'all to understand that war is deception. So you're not caught up in this shit like, this is him being evil. This is everybody wants to act like Sun Tzu and the art of war. They understand the importance of it. Everybody wants to talk about the 48 laws of power. Then when somebody does it in wartime for their own interest, their lobby group interests, their donors' interests, Don Jr., who's been mysteriously quiet and racking up so much money off this shit, this is a form of the war that we're talking about. Y'all reading these books, but this is playing out in real time. So this is not about evil. War is, and these market responses and universal responses don't necessarily respond just to your moral perspective. I understand that we as Americans that want peace in our communities to be better and all of that, you got to get serious about what comes with being an empire. A lot of y'all that are jump in the comment section will say shit like, well, we America, they need to get down and lay down. All right, cool. Don't complain when them chickens come home to roost either. Don't complain when a politician lies. This is what politicians in control of empires, not limited government, constitutional republics, do. So he get the breathing room from the peace through strength, then the posture, and say, oh, we good. The markets calm down after the gas prices spike. You keep the pressure on Iran because they don't believe you without immediate escalation. And then he might be talking about these back channel conversations and indirect talks via intermediaries of third parties. But the thing is, you might be talking to the Iranian people on that side, but the IRGC is a part of it. The IRGC is like, we ain't had no talks with main man. Because don't think it's just you're only talking to that. The IRGC and the Iranian government and the Ayatollahs almost is like different factions of the same squad. And it still gives the veil of confusion. What's Iran's angle in this? They publicly deny it, even if it's telling the truth. Let's say Trump is telling the whole truth about this shit right here. They get to deny it. They get to save face domestically. We get to avoid looking weak, meaning the Iranian government, the IRGC, whatever. They still get to maintain the leverage and still get that money over there in that Strait of Hormuz. That denial takia style statements while quietly probing the deals. They still control the strait. They still got room to go retaliatory if need be. if the infrastructure power was hit. And lo and behold, the infrastructure power was hit. These are all players in the game. You do not know what to believe in these scenarios. The only thing that you can do as the American involved, meaning based on your gas prices, the only thing that you can do is say, how is this impacting me economically and potentially your physical safety? That's the only thing that you can do. We can stay abreast. Even the new information I pull from Al Jazeera, some places, I pull from these other places at different times, right? I pull from the what do you call it? That largest aircraft carrier that's going to be out of commission for damn near 2 years now because there was a laundry accident on the joint, right? Timing is mysteriously coinky-dinkish. All you can start to go is, these things don't look like coincidences. And no matter how much you find out the stories about these things, it is not accidental, nor is it something that the only thing that you can evaluate, because you don't know the backstory. Again, even something as simple as this explosion here. You can say, yo, that's an eerily timed coinky-dink. You could say, I think it's a false flag. You could say, there's sleeper cells in Texas. You could say all of that. The only thing that really matters to you outside of the theory is how will this impact my actual economic and in my life as it relates to safety and economics. It's the only thing that you can really say. And right now, when you look at it from that perspective, I'm not seeing the fucking wins. This ain't winning to me. This doesn't oh my, so this is it. This is what we voted for. Anybody saying it at this point is absolute horseshit. It's absolute horseshit. You didn't vote for this. It wouldn't surprise me for 1 second if this turns out to be a false flag attack on our energy infrastructure. This is what I'm saying to y'all. Not saying it is for sure. With everything going on right now, the timing is super uncanny. If just a second ago, their argument was, yo, they got missiles that could go 4,000 kilometers, so Iran is 1,000%. Look, they just hit Diego Garcia. Man. We got to give Israel and the United States government the go. How do you know that Iranians did that? And on top of the fact that the Iranians publicly said, we didn't do that. Then the argument goes, do we listen to the Iranians? Then the argument goes, hey, what reason would the Iranians have to blow some shit up and then say they didn't blow some shit up? You could do this shit all day. How we distill this as Americans, what we do in distilling this is in basically saying, yo, I'm not sure how does this impact my economic life and my safety. Guys, make sure you subscribe to the Solutionary newsletter too. I'm going to just scroll a bit and we're going to chop it up a bit. I want to hear from y'all in the chats. I want to hear from y'all. We got to start. Who's this? Who's that? Terry? Terry, thank you. Terry says, when money is God, gold, oil, and drugs, these folks will do any and everything to get it regardless of how it impacts the average American. Then we left holding the bag. We're left asking these questions. Again, guys, make sure you join up. Make sure you follow on all of the channels. YouTube.com/Maj2Ray. You guys can take a class at solutionaryuniversity.org. That's the only thing that we can pull from this. The United States is no longer fighting this war from the sky alone. When was this? This was 57 minutes ago. Approximately 2,500 Marines from the 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit accelerated out of San Diego. Roughly 2,000 sailors These amphibious assault ships and infantry battalion with helicopters, F-35s, and armored vehicles already are deploying. Now senior military leaders are actively considering sending a full brigade combat team from the 82nd Airborne Division, approximately 3,000 paratroopers from the immediate response force at Fort Bragg, the unit designed to deploy anywhere on Earth within 18 hours. This is not an air campaign. That is ground force architecture. The 82nd Airborne's IRF exists for one purpose: to put boots on hostile ground faster than any other unit in the U.S. military. When the IRF deploys, it means someone in the Pentagon has decided that air power alone cannot achieve the objective, like every other fucking general has said about this situation for however long. The objectives that require ground forces in this theater are specific and limited. Karg Island seizure to control Iran's primary oil export terminal, Hormuz mine clearance to physically reopen the strait, hostage rescue operations, and IRGC leadership decapitation. CBS has already confirmed at least a dozen Iranian Maham 3 and Maham 7 naval mines in the strait. Fucking bombs in the fucking water, guys. You do not send paratroopers to clear mines. You send paratroopers to seize the island that controls the choke point while SEALs and mine countermeasure vessels clear the water. Special operations footprint is building in parallel. The 75th Ranger Regiment, Delta Force, the 160 Special Operations Aviation Regiment, and Navy SEAL teams are either operating or on high alert. These are not defensive units. These are the units that killed bin Laden, captured Saddam, and neutralized Soleimani. Their presence in theater during a war where Mujtaba Khomeini has not been seen for 24 days and Iran's parliament speaker is the most visible wartime leader tells you exactly what menu of options is on the table. Trump paused power plant strikes for 5 days. He did not pause troop deployments. He did not pause the 11th MEU. He did not pause the 82nd Airborne consideration. He did not pause special ops. The pause applies to one category of target: energy infrastructure. Everything else is accelerating. The diplomatic window and the military buildup are running on the same clock. If the talks produce nothing by Saturday, the forces will already be in position. Iran has 140 launchers remaining. The fire rate has collapsed 89%. Its navy is destroyed. Its air force is gone. Its supreme leader is missing. Its internet has been dark for 504 hours. And a unit that can put 3,000 paratroopers on the ground in 18 hours is being considered for deployment. The arithmetic is not subtle. The 5-day clock is not just diplomatic deadline. It's a staging window. So all of this other shit that we're seeing, this, as I said earlier in the show, that is a damn subterfuge. It's a damn subterfuge. That don't have nothing to do with the reality of the situation. At all. It doesn't. That's him saying stuff that is quite literally fake news. Or just not telling the whole story. War is deception. War is deception. Do I want the United States government to win in this scenario? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not one of those people that's saying, yo, we need to lose. I'm not one of those people. I'm saying I want you as solutionaries to pay attention to something deeper here. I don't want you to look at this from the perspective of, well, Trump said he was going to do this and he did that. I'm good on that as it relates to campaign trail talk and then you getting us into a war, 1,000%. But when you're in the middle of the fight, I can't go live and say, yo, I'm going to be here at this time, knowing my ops. That's how people look. Again, y'all, the parallel between the streets and geopolitics is eerily similar. It's eerily similar. I'm not going to act like we don't see on social media motherfuckers be talking shit to their ops and then their ops roll up and spray their whole block. We've seen that 1,000 times on social media. So when you see something on Truth Social, I don't take it as absolute truth until a deal is done and we already got confirmed sources. Anything that happens on Truth Social or X or whatever, that's not me going like, yeah, that's the gospel truth. And if you think so, you're out of your mind. Don't be. Don't be. Big Rob says the people who say we need to lose are not prepared for the U.S. to lose. I promise you, you're not. Outside of you don't have capabilities, you don't have ammo, you don't know how to exist without water. I haven't eaten food in 2 days. I've had water and protein shakes and coffee. I am going through a week of not eating food, self-imposed. I got steaks, okay? Most of you never, the people that want the United States to lose will be complaining and bitching if the United States loses in this scenario. Forget losing. Even if there's a massive impact to the supply chain, outside of y'all looking at these airports right now with TSA, outside of that fact, most of you never subject yourself to any self-imposed difficulties to strengthen yourself. I have not eaten any food since Saturday afternoon. No Whole Foods. I have had, in grand total, 2 protein shakes, water, and coffee since Saturday afternoon, and that is self-imposed. How many of you have actually counted your fucking calories? How many of you got MREs? How many of you, outside of all of that preparation and self-development, have the will to take somebody else's shit? We watch The Walking Dead and Fallout and all of these shows. No electric and no internet. And some of y'all would just go stir crazy. Some of y'all don't know how to just do push-ups, work out, read books, and hang out with your wife and children. How many of you have MREs right now? I have not eaten since Saturday by design. I need to get shredded and ripped. I need to be capable of, yeah, Maj, you strong, but make sure your mental is good too. Flush out some of those things. Start galvanizing yourself to being able to operate on a caloric deficit consistently. Because if something go crazy, you got to stockpile the grub. You have to ration that food the fuck out. And you got to keep your physical capabilities up. Why don't you start practicing that shit right now, Maj? How many people in the chat actually even know what the fuck I'm talking about? I'm doing this while I'm rumbling, selling whatever I got to sell to make sure we acquiring and doing and fighting what we fighting. So a lot of the people that's advocating for America to actually fall or lose, a lot of y'all ain't even really ready to rumble for real, for real. You ain't doing no self-imposed nothing. No self-imposed nothing. Bookworm said, what the F are MREs? Ready to eat. It's a plastic thing of food that a lot of them you could dump in water. Some of you, if you get the humanitarian Johns, the humanitarian meals, not just for the military, but that they give out to the humanitarian aid and stuff like that, those got a little bit more calories to them. Okay? The meals ready to eat. How many people in the chat have ever counted your calories and said, I'm only going to go 1,500 calories a day? Most of y'all don't even know that we so privileged, and we should be grateful to how much we have. Most of y'all don't even know that your motherfucking mocha kappa frappa chappa lappa at Starbucks is already 600-700 calories. You don't think about that though. I was in Dunkin' Donuts this morning, getting a cup of coffee, knowing that I'm on a 7-day solid food fast. Being able to go into the Dunkin' Donuts and all of the great smelling, they had a turkey, sausage, egg, and cheese wrap. I like that wrap. It's quick. It's a decent amount of calories. You could bang it as a snack. I went in, smelled all of the good food, and walked out with my 1 cup of coffee. Okay? You need to be preparing for these types of things. Do I anticipate, especially after what was just read? Do you anticipate this thing to happen this way? No, I don't. Hopefully, the Iranian government, the IRGC, and the people that's controlling the Strait of Hormuz, they getting a lot of money off that. We're talking about billions of dollars. At the last point I checked, and I need to check again, there was about 3,200 ships waiting to get through the Strait of Hormuz. And they were telling certain countries, no, if you're riding with them, you can't even give us 2 million to get through here. Then the other ships started going, yeah, we take the 2 million. Okay? Y'all helped them get a lot more money. You damn near gave them a boost on the sanctions. Saying that to say, with all of that happening, let's read it again. All of these different special ops teams and things of that nature, right? With all of this happening, 75th Ranger Regiment, Delta Force, some of the best guys that I know that got busy said, there's no comparing to the Delta Force. These dudes can kill fast. They can do everything, right? They on the way to do whatever they do. Do I expect this to be high casualties for American soldiers? Absolutely. But do I expect the Iranian, with all of this, if all of this is accurate, do I expect this to play out all the way? No. But I also know that if you just said Iran is this close to nuclear and there's other factors in this, we just saw one of the largest oil refineries in Texas magically blow up. It might be a coinky dink. So there's going to be casualties. I'm not in opposition to that. But do I think that this is going to be a 10-year thing? No, I don't think that. But I could be wrong. Do I think that it was going to be 6 days like they were anticipating? Fuck no. It's been almost a month now. Regardless of where you land on this, you don't think the government, United States government, should win. They shouldn't control oil and power in the region. If you're looking from a gangster perspective, I come out fine with all of the death associated with this if I look at it through that lens. We've been the bully. United States government been a bully to its own citizens. To its own citizens for some time now, since they murdered JFK. I'm not at a conundrum about the United States government being a rogue agency that will murder its own fucking presidents that are trying to check power. How we get more people involved is by getting people involved in the civic tip, in the preparation tip, in the Second Amendment tip. Because it's not operating the way that it's supposed to. But with that all being the case, you got to be prepared. And if I understand it about this government, I go, yeah, they doing gangster shit. And looking at it through that lens, they're willing to do whatever. And they are willing to accept a whole bunch of motherfucking casualties. In the middle of that, you're still lifting the sanctions for the oil, buying the oil off the Iranians, which could be looked at as a strategic chess move. I make them think we weak while I'm getting the 82nd Airborne over there, 75th Ranger element, still give them the 5 days, but we still advancing over here. Then I put out on Truth Social, yo, I think it's cool. Then the Iranians go, nah, he's scared. And then they come down. That's a legitimate chess move. That's some 4D chess that I agree with. That understand, I'll say, not agree with. But in the meantime, this does not mean that in a fight you can't get punched the fuck back. This doesn't mean you can't get punched back. The question that I have for everybody that we all have to evaluate on, if we're being serious about it, the question you really got to ask yourself is this. Are you being, it's several fold. So let's say 2 or 3 questions. 1, regardless of how this pans out. 1, do I feel like I'm winning right now? Economically, mentally? We did a whole week show worth of talking about Iran, almost feeling like it's the mid-90s talking about, damn, we might have to go back and forth with Saddam. I remember being a young boy when that Operation Desert Storm and Iraqi Freedom and whatever, right, was going on. I remember thinking, damn, man, war could happen, a nuclear situation could happen, and then I remember being a young person going to sleep thinking that. I'm not going to fucking traumatize my family now that way, but I'm also not going to ignore the possibility of that. What they say in Islam, my Muslim friends got a great saying. Trust Allah, but tie your camel, which means, yeah, you trust God. but you're still going to tie your camel because somebody might steal it. So I go, hey, I do think that the United States government has the most lethal fighting forces of whatever, but they're not righteous. And this move ain't righteous. So they're being the bully. So if they're the bully and the aggressor here, the other people are fighting for existence, which means if you back them too much into a corner, they might blow your whole shit up. So then after that, do I feel like I'm winning? Do I feel like I'm winning? Economically, mentally? No. I don't think the general public feels like they're fucking winning. I think that when you guys, if in California, LA, when I seen them gas prices hit $8 and some change over there, I said, do they feel like, well, Cali ain't vote for Trump heavy, but do they feel like they winning? Nope. When you go into the grocery store, when that barrel of oil start getting over the $150 to $200 range, every single thing in the global economy is going to increase. The price, I mean. So, do I feel like I'm winning economically and mentally? If the answer to that is no, that's one question. The next question is, am I preparing if this shit get ugly? Are you preparing? Everybody in the chat right now that's watching right now, every single one of you should either A, be in the Solutionary 9, which is a 99-day program to get shaped the fuck up. You want to talk about preparation? You want to talk about firearms? You want to talk about mindset? You want to talk about working out? You want to talk about counting calories and macros and meal plans and practicing a certain level of discipline? I wake up at 3:30 every fucking morning before military shit. You got to get militant. Your government has you involved in war because, as Carrie said in the video that we played earlier, they want you to believe that you were part of this shit, that you actually didn't vote on. Nobody in the chat, a lot of us voted for Trump. Nobody in the chat voted for Trump to go to another Middle East war. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. But they got you in this situation. They telling you short-term pain for long-term gain. They're running the same media campaign that the left did with we need to support our allies in Ukraine against the evil Russia. They got you in some shit. And you in the middle of this shit. And now your United States government today hit civilian situations in Iran, which by definition, again, Article 52 in that global international rules against war, Geneva Convention shit, right? Energy. They say you're not allowed to target civilian situations unless but it's a green light if they got joint usage. It's a green light. If it's military installation and civilian, we could blow it the fuck up. The Iranians tell you this is how y'all fuck this over. And now this can be reciprocated on your end. Then right after that, we see one of the largest refineries in America blow up. You're in it, guys. If you're not taking a moment to fucking dial in, every single person in here should be in the Solutionary 9. You need a regiment. You need a fucking blueprint. I'm gonna be fine. I got 50,000 allegedly. You never know. Somebody may have dropped off 1,009 mil for me. You never know. You never fucking know. I might be sitting with a nice chunk of 223. I have the will to take shit. I already have it. I hope it never comes to that. I would prefer it don't. Do you? Do you have the skill? You might have the will. Do you have the skill and the resources? Have you been strengthening yourself to be in position? Have you developed a relationship with people kind of close to you? Because if the gas is up and that's a green light and the biggest refinery, one of them in America, the gas refinery is impacted, and the prices and the shipping and all of those things are impacted, Can you dig in locally? Fuck bugging out. Can you bug in? Do you even know what bugging in means? Do you have a network of people that can give you some information? Do you know how to limit your caloric intake? Have you ever counted your own calories? Have you rationed out the food? This is what fucking wartime means in reality. And I see a lot of y'all talking that shit, and we still fucking talking about the NBA and sports, and I get it. We talk about pop culture. We ain't gonna let nothing steal our joy for sure. But you need to add to your militancy. Every single person in here should be in the Solutionary 9. The Solutionary 9, because this may last 6 months, a year. We were supposed to be in and out of Afghanistan, maybe 6 weeks, maybe 6 days. They all said it. Rumsfeld said it. Dick Cheney said it. Pete Hegseth is saying it. It's the same. 2 weeks to slow the spread. 50 days of high gas prices for 50 years without Iran, without. They use the same cliches. You're in it, guys. You're in it. Maybe it's done by Saturday. Maybe Saturday, the meal that I have, the holistic meal that I have, is also in celebration and being grateful for this situation being done. And maybe I'll be able to say, all of the people are like, see, he got it done. You were panicking. And I'll go, I wasn't panicking, but I get you. Cool. You was right. He got it done. Maybe that's what this meal will be. Hopefully it will be. But if it's not, you need to commit to the next 3 fucking months. And most of the country right now is getting warm or is already warm. If you're in the Northeast, it's still a little bit chilly or cold at different times. But you need to legitimately be a part of a network and a routine. Most of y'all haven't served. Most of y'all don't have a consistent routine. Most of y'all don't even wake up at the same, unless you're going to work. You don't wake up at the same time. You don't get up earlier. You don't got a network of people sharing information with you. And that's what the Solutionary 9 is. I want everybody in here. We got a payment plan. You should dial the fuck in. It's like $10 a goddamn day. You should stop drinking as fucking much. You should stop eating reckless. You should discipline yourself to save $10,000 over the next 3 months and get into the Solutionary 9. I'm not saying this because I'm just trying to scare y'all. I'm telling y'all, looking at the reality of what we just went through today. False flag or not, people die in false flags too. The fact that this is, we in a war, they're trying to confirm and trick you into more war, should tell you that you should start being fucking prepared. Most of the people in the chat tonight have not taken a Stop the Bleed class. Join the Solutionary 9. Take a damn Stop the Bleed class. Them people that's at that oil refinery in Texas, some of those people might have got, if it was an explosion, they might have had shrapnel. Do you got a fucking tourniquet on you? Do you got a first aid kit? Do you know how to use it? We got to stop just talking about, arguing about what government does to get us into wars, instead of strengthening ourselves and being involved in civics and being involved in our local politics and being involved in being our own first responders and being capable of being able to say, we're not shopping for the next 2 weeks as a nation because we are all solutionaries and we oppose this war. Trump made this statement today to calm the market. Trump did not make this statement today to calm the general public. You can influence the market by being strong enough as a collective by starting with yourself. We have a simple routine and blueprint for you. But you need to fucking invest in yourself, your people, your family, your future. We are at a fucking war, guys. That's not me saying that. That's what it is. And I'm telling you things that are made publicly available, pulling from Al Jazeera, pulling from other people, independent journalists, right? That still doesn't change the fact that I'm like, there's things that we don't know. I'm not pretending like I got some insider information. Do I do a modicum of research for the show to communicate with y'all? Yes. And the biggest thing from the shows, if we don't learn nothing else, is we solutionaries. We are solutionaries. We got to set the tone and be on point. So, with that, I encourage everybody, get into the Solutionary now. You on if you're on the chat and YouTube, the link is on the screen. The link is in the chat. Invest in this shit, man. I just made some content today. I think we'll go live with that tonight, actually. I made some content today talking about, and me, doing the Solutionary 9. For those of you that don't know, that's shooting. That's all of the stuff that I just named. Just a shit ton of transformative information that you get lifetime access to. That's just the classes and curriculum. I am working with you directly for 99 days to get you on point based on your goals. We get a call. We get on a call. We talk about what the goals is. We already got a blueprint for you, and then we add onto that blueprint that is tailor-made to you. Tailor-made. And as much as we be talking about we got to get in shape and we got to get more militant, I can run a 4-minute mile. I can ruck. I can get a 6-minute mile in with a 50-pound ruck or up. I can do that. I can do 100 push-ups straight. I can go without. I'm going a whole week without solid food because I can. Because I'm challenging myself. Everybody needs to get their physical capabilities up. So all of these things, and doing the research for this, I made some content today talking about how there are people charging y'all. There's 72-hour courses. And again, people can price shit whichever way they want to. There are 72-hour courses that are charging people $15,000. $15,000. To me, that's insane. You need a simple blueprint with routine follow-up and accountability from someone that knows what they're doing and has a vested interest, not to just get $15,000, $20,000 out of you. The Solutionary 9 is $1,000 over 3 months. If you pay it all up front, you get a damn discount. That is $10 a day for you to get in better shape, be a better shooter, and fucking be stronger. And learn shit that will help you in wartime. And so we talk all of this shit. Everybody goes to the bar. Oh, I had a drink. Oh, I went to the strip club. Oh, I bought wings. Oh, I went that. I did all of that. If you cut all of that bullshit out, you could put $10 a day aside to have access to all of this information, direct accountability, me pushing you. It's 99 days of literally me going, this is what we're doing. We are the Fight Club Solutionaries. You got to step that shit up. And at the end of those 99 days, you have access to all of that information. Then you train your people. Fuck just talking about whether the United States government is corrupt or not. They are. We are the aggressor. We have been. Stop it. It's not an indictment of all of the American people. Most of the American people are like, nah, I don't feel like I'm winning. This is not what I voted for. You got the extremes, the media pundits and all that. It's like, yeah, so much winning, as they're lying. Because the reality is the gas prices now are higher than when Biden was in. And they was bitching about the gas prices under Biden. So they're not being legitimate with their critiques. They're not being objective and nuanced and honest and intellectually consistent. So we have to be. You got to teach your fucking people. I got 10 years of experience and learning from some of the best people across the world in the country in multiple disciplines. The Reaper is a homie of mine. If you don't know who the Reaper is, ask somebody in the chat. So I got 10 years of that condensed into 99 days. And I'm telling you, they're challenging. These other people are charging y'all $15,000. You're putting resources to something to help other people, get them stronger, and you know you fucking need it. Most people in the chat know that they're not in the fucking physical tip-top shape. Even before tip-top, you know that you're not in great shape. You know that you need to lose some weight. You know that you need to get stronger. Come on, y'all. We got a blueprint. So I don't want to hear about this other shit about Trump such and such and such. Some of that shit is above our pay grade. You got to control what you can control. Control what you can control. And what you can control is this next 99 days and your inputs that make better outputs. I don't care your family and your wife with it and get them access to the classes as soon as you get in. I don't care. I want you. Could I charge y'all $10,000 for this? Absolutely. Maybe I will in 2027 if the earth is still here. Maybe I will. But right now, it's $10 a fucking day, guys. Y'all got to be serious about this, man. It's what it is. Two things, guys. The link is on the screen. The link is in the chat. Give, send, go. That's for the Solutionary 9. I challenge everybody to just hit the link and go look. Hit the link. Go look. Yes, there's payment plans. Yes, there's all types of shit over there. Just go look. Just go look. Somebody just joined. Let me see. Who's there? Hold on 1 second, y'all. And then we're going to wrap up. Oh, this was Jack. Jack and Blonde Sky just gave a $10 donation. Jack, thank you. Jack, let me cover this up real quick. Jack just joined. I want to make sure we don't put his email out there. Jack just joined. I'm going to cover up his email real quick, y'all. I want y'all to see this because it's important. It's actually very fucking important. Let me cover up his, all right. Let me show y'all this real quick. I don't know if y'all can see that. It says Jack Young. I'm going to do a quick video after this. It says Jack Young. He did a split payment on the Solutionary 9. Welcome, Jack. Welcome. I appreciate you, Jack, for buying in. I appreciate you for being somebody that actually took action. Talking about whether Trump was lying or not, all war is deception. Politics is deception. They all gonna lie. How do their lies have the power to impact you or not? That's what you have control over. Getting stronger, getting smarter, being capable of defending what the fuck you got. For everybody from now until the end of summer, that should be the focus that you're thinking about. Because at least when it's hot out, you ain't got to worry about warming up your house. It's annoying if it ain't no electric or some stupid shit happen, but it's warm. You need to be preparing from the spring all the way through the summer. Hopefully this shit is done by then. Great. But if it's not, I want everybody in here committing to this. Don't just talk about how fucked up it is. Talk about what solutions you applied. So anyway, guys, that's the two ways that you can get it. Solutionary University. I want to see everybody in the Solutionary 9. And if you want to start in a different route, here's two other options. I'm going to give you all the most expensive one, which is the Solutionary 9, and that's the most intense. That's the most expensive, and it's the most intense. Because I'm not going to give y'all these like, well, you gave me your money, so I'm going to take it easy on you. I'm not that type of fucking trainer. You ain't talking to chat bot, AI bots, and none of that. You're dealing with me. And we're going to come up with, we got the blueprint, and we're going to curate it specifically to your needs. And you will be a fucking soldier. You will be a solutionary, because I'm not going to allow you to sell the Solutionary 9 and take 50% off of it after you're done. Because if you guys don't know that, after you're finished your Solutionary 9 commitment, you get access to sell the Solutionary 9, and there's a 50-50 split. I want every fucking soldier and solutionary that goes through this fucking boot camp, basic training. I want you to then be able to promote it to others and get a way for yourself and others to make resources. Anybody that's not giving you a way to get improved mentally, spiritually, and financially, they fucking cap. No, you don't gotta buy in. No, this ain't no fucking multi-level marketing. I want you to go through the thing so you understand the thing, so you're stronger and you create force multipliers. Okay? So that's what's important. Getting on point, not just fucking whining about the system. So that's one option. That's the most expensive option. Let's say you're not ready to do that right now. Maj, I don't know if I'm going to be committed to you being that serious about me. Maybe you still believe the media, this shit going to be over with in 6 days. Maybe you believe that. 6 weeks, whatever. 6 weeks to slow the spread. Maybe. Cool. I ain't going to judge you negatively. I'm going to give you an option. You can be a donor at givesendgo.com/solutionary. We still need your help there. We got maybe 179 more $100 donors needed. We still need your help there. Donate $100 or more to that. Get access at least to all of the classes and curriculums. Firearms basics, civics, understanding imminent threat. Stop the bleed. Very important class. Know your rights. Get lifetime access to that for $100. No, you're not going to get all of the stuff in me, the intensive whatever. No, you're not. But you'll get that. And that's a start. Or here's the least expensive option. There is a bunch of content behind the paywall on the YouTube channel and the subscription on X. It's $2 a month. You just want to continue to hear what I'm talking about in the motivational content, and you still want to support that way, go subscribe to the X channel. A lot of y'all are watching on X. It's $2 a month. Either way helps. I'm giving y'all a super cheap option. I'm giving y'all a middle ground option that helps you more. And I'm giving you a more expensive option that helps you the absolute most. But that one is the most difficult because I'm not going to give you, I'm going to be annoying. I'm your actual trainer and instructor on all of these disciplines while you get access to all of the classes. So we got options. My job is to not judge y'all negatively. My job is to meet y'all where y'all at. I want all of y'all in the army at a certain point. But right now, if you're like, Maj, I can't really, I'll just be able to do the $2. Go subscribe. It's right there. If you're watching on YouTube, it's right there. Be a paid subscriber for $2. Or if you're watching on X, it's right there. Hit the subscription button. It's right there. It's $2 a month. You get a bunch of content, and it gives you that right mindset. That may be all you need right now or all you think you need right now. Cool. I'm not judging you. I disagree with you thinking that's all you need. But if that's all you believe that you need, then that's all you're going to accept. So I have that option for you. When you're ready to step up to a different level, be a donor and pay it forward for others at $100 or more and get access to all of the classes. You take them at your leisure. No problem. But if you want to be an actual fucking soldier, I am going 7 days with no food to practice getting ready for potential fucking war. That's a self-imposed. You don't have to do that. But I am going to get your discipline and your regiment up solid enough that you're like, yeah, I'm down. And if you want that type of commitment over 99 days that you'll have for the rest of your lifetime, that you'll then be able to sell and then be able to teach your people, oh, fuck yeah. I'm here for that. I'm here for all of the people that's on that. And we have an option for everybody. It's on the screen now for the Solutionary 9. Guys, we're going to wrap up right there. I appreciate y'all all for tapping in. I will see you all tomorrow. I want to engage you all. I'm going to be doing a few donor shouts. And I'm going to get back to work because I got to be up at 3:30. So I'm going to get straight to work. But I want to say I appreciate you all. Hopefully some of y'all take this call. Some of the things that I'm telling y'all tonight, y'all know is true. If you heard that and it's sitting on your spirit that you need to get in shape, that you need to take these classes, that you need to really structure your fucking life for something that's well beyond whatever happens with this war situation. If you know that that's true, I want to engage you. Set it up. Let's get on a fucking call. Hit the link. Let's get to work. Stop thinking you got a whole bunch of time. You got to take advantage of the time that you do have. And for those people, I'm here for you. I look forward to talking to y'all in a little bit. Thank you all again. Givesendgo.com/solutionary. I'll see you all in a bit. Be safe. Be solutionary.